Oh. On both sides? That's fine. Where are they going to sit down? They did. I just saw them as I said. Okay, sure. Yeah, yeah. And then Carla's going to be there too, so I guess Carla, Brian, and Chewy are going to say something. Oh, sorry? Yeah, I read the agenda this morning, so I read it.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us, those on the Zoom and those here in person. Just going to take a roll call. If there's anyone on the in the boardroom today here to give public comment, please fill out a comment card in the back of the room and bring it up front. And if there's anyone on the Zoom call to provide a public comment, I will take your info now just so we can be ready and know how many comments we have when the meeting gets started. So I see Audit LA, you have your hand raised. Would you like to provide public comment today?
Yes, I would like to provide public comment and speak on every agenda item.
Every agenda item. Wonderful. Thank you for the information. We'll get to you,
Thank you.
once we get the meeting started.
Thank
Caller Ramona, do you have public comment today or commentary on any of our agenda items?
Public comment, please.
For public comment? Great, thank you. We will get to you once the meeting gets started. Appreciate it.
Hi. guys are on the set. Yeah, you're on the set. Right. Those things say River Rangers.
Oh.
Sorry. Should have corrected it. I apologize.
All right, all my River Rangers. 1, 2, 3.
Good morning, everyone. Going to make another announcement for the Zoom attendees before we get started. If there's anyone here to provide public comment in the hearing room today, please fill out a comment form in the back of the room and bring it up front. If there is anyone on the Zoom, I already have 2 public commenters. If there's anyone else who's here to provide public comment, please raise your hand so we can call on you when we get to that portion. Thank you very much.
Commissioner.
I have all my Valley people look over here. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Wait, look. You 3 look this way. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Think about it.
All right, Vice President Villegas, we are now in record mode, so we're ready to get started. Morning, everyone. Morning, Vice President Villegas. Devin Zatorsky with the Board of Public Works taking role and establishing quorum. We have Vice President Villegas, Commissioner Corsant, and Commissioner Reyes all present. We're also joined by City Attorney Representative Miss Virginia Choi, and once again, Devin Zatorsky with the Board of Public Works. We have two speaker cards under general public comment, and then one speaker for the 13 agenda items today on each agenda item, and no neighborhood council commentary on today's agenda.
Okay, thank you so much.
And it's 10:04 a.m.
Thank you. All right, then let's start with well, welcome everyone to today's meeting for August 21st at just a little after 10. We're excited to get this meeting started, and welcome to our River Rangers as well. We're excited to conduct the graduation today. Extremely happy and proud of you all. Ms. Zatorsky, why don't we start then with general public comment, and then we will convene with our graduation this morning.
Okay, great. We have two general public comments on the Zoom, no in person today. Our first public commenter, Audit LA, I'm going to ask you to unmute yourself, and then you will have 2 minutes. Okay,
You almost said 10. I like that better. Anyway, I'm here. I want to say from the last meeting when Commissioner Davis was running the meeting, it was the best meeting, the public works meeting that I've ever been to, because him and Ms. Cole, they spoke eloquently. They're calm. They listen to everybody. And then Commissioner Davis did an amazing thing. He actually accepted the feedback about reading the agenda item first, then letting the presentation happen, and then following up with public comment, because a lot of times the presentation may answer our questions or give us more questions. So I wanted to give a shout out to him for that, and I'm hoping that will continue as we go forward. My public comment is, though, I am still coming for the same thing. My absolute concerns as to why the Public Works Department will not intervene with with all this endless permitting from the Bureau of Street Services at Scientology on L. Ron Hubbard Way. It has been closed continuously since June 1st, and now they have closures all the way through September. It's enough. The people want their street back, and I'm asking you to please notify Mr. Yanes to please stop endlessly rubber stamping these permits and open up our streets back. I'm also asking you to please open up the emergency lane that they are required by permit to have, but they do not have. And with an entire two-story crack in their building right there on a 4-story building, they need to make sure there's an open emergency lane. So whoever is rubber stamping these violations and the ADA violations for the planters, I am pleading with you to step up and make it stop, or at least
Thank you,
tell
caller.
me
That's 2
what I
minutes.
can do.
All right, our next public commenter, caller Ramona, if you could go ahead and unmute yourself, you'll have 2 minutes for your public comment.
Good morning, commissioners. Thank you so much for the time. Again, I'd like to say about the L. Ron Hubbard Way, the emergency lane. I was completely taken aback the other day. Yesterday, I was seeing that they not only have the same planters on the north and the south entrances, so an emergency vehicle can't get down there, but they've added a couple. And there was no foot traffic whatsoever. There's no event truly being held. It is in name only. And that crack that Audit LA was talking about in the building, there was a chunk that fell off from it and it almost hit somebody. The city attorney, the attorney on your board and your commission, they need to take a look at this, and they need to be aware that this violation is going to hurt somebody. Thank you, and I yield back my time.
Thank you, caller.
Thank you for those comments. We will now close general public comment and neighborhood council comments. And we'll just take up the approval of the minutes. If we can have a second to my motion for the approval of the minutes for August 7th, 2024.
Second.
Mr. Torski, we have a motion by myself and a second by Commissioner Corsand.
Great, we'll take roll call, starting with you, Vice President Villegas.
Aye.
Commissioner Corsand
Aye.
and Commissioner Reyes.
Aye.
Great, the item is adopted and carries forthwith.
Wonderful. All right, well, welcome again, everyone, and excited to start today's presentation of extreme accomplishment for our participants today, and thank you to all of our partners who are here as well. We will start then with our graduation for our LA River Ranger program. Today we celebrate the first class of graduates from our very own LA River Ranger program. And we are excited to recognize the 8 participants who have met all the criteria and who have completed the program. The LA River Ranger program is led by the Board of Public Works and the Office of Beautification, Community Beautification, in coordination with the LA Conservation Corps and the Economic Workforce Development Department and the Mayor's Office. This program is funded by California for All Youth Grant. It's a state grant. The LA River Ranger program is a work initiative that aims to enhance the cleanliness along the LA River while providing paid opportunities for dozens of young Angelenos. The program began in early 2023 and offers a little over 12 months of full-time employment to young adults throughout the city of Los Angeles. This effort is facilitated again by the LA Conservation Corps, key community-based organizations that provide significant implementation support. Under their wing, the LA River Ranger program provides essential maintenance and operations services to local communities and works within the council districts of 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 13. Congratulations to all, and I'll turn this over to our partner, the LA Conservation Corps. Do we have a representative from them today?
So good morning, everybody. My name is Carla Ramos from LA Conservation Corps, and on behalf of our organization, I'd like to say thank you to the Board of Public Works for giving us this opportunity to be able to provide our Corps members a very valuable, important opportunity to be able to not only work within the city and our community, but also by teaching them the importance of all their great efforts, that they don't go unnoticed. They make a big difference in the community. And also, I want to make sure that I thank our project leads, Devin and Roman, who are our leads and are providing great stewardship and guidance in everything that has to do with the program. And I want to make sure that I also mention and congratulate all of our participants, because it's not an easy thing to commit to over 1,500 hours worth of work and getting to do other things that will better their lives in the time that they're with us for that shorter period of time. While they were with us, many of them were able to obtain their first aid, CPR, OSHA certificates, and within the year, some of them also obtained their high school diploma and their driver's license. And along the way, they were able to learn also other things such as tool trainings, plant identification, the history and importance of why we want to be able to keep our river a location where we can have Angelenos and visitors learn and experience for recreational purposes. I will go ahead and pass it on back to Devin. Or,
Yeah, Ms. Devin Zatorsky.
okay, thank you.
Before we get into the actual graduation ceremony, did anyone else, any other LACC leaders, like to say a few words about those they work with? Chewy, who's our program manager, and then the West Valley site. So we'll let Chewy speak to the graduates.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you to the Board of Public Works and the City of Los Angeles for providing us and entrusting our organization to help beautify the City of Los Angeles, and to all the partners that are part of our development. Congratulations to you all on your well-deserved success. In your achievement of reaching your goal, your hard work doesn't go unnoticed. You have played a vital role in the success, not only within this program, but within the surrounding communities along the 18 miles of our LA River. By performing cleanups, providing maintenance services, this action, your contributions have benefited the community by providing more appealing spaces for recreations such as cleaner bike paths and walkways. The litter that you have picked up along the LA River harms our environment. It affects the native birds and animals that call the river home. And much of that trash that enters the river is swept out into the ocean. You are a hero to nature by capturing this litter before it does its damage. Since the Los Angeles Corps was founded in 1986, we've empowered young individuals to leave a lasting impact on their communities through the environmentally focused projects that we offer. You have all committed to make that positive impact, and I'm proud to be part of your team. I encourage you all to continue in your self-development and accomplish all that comes your way. Continue to climb the ladder of success one step at a time. Once again, River Rangers, congratulations to you all on your achievement. We are proud. Thank you.
Okay, now on to the official part, our graduation. Just want to give some statistics and thank you to the commissioners for having us here today and honoring this program. That's really exciting, the work we've been able to do since we officially started the program in November of 2022, had our first cohort in March of 2023. A big shout out to Michael Affelt with the Bureau of Engineering, who was instrumental in starting this work, and him and I worked very closely on this together at the beginning. So it's exciting to see 8 graduates here today who have gone out every day, cleaned up trash, kept the river clean, talked to community members about the importance of the LA River, about 311 services, about everything that this city provides, and that the jewel that the LA River is for the city, and that we cherish it and we want to keep it clean and use those recreation zones and, make these efforts to highlight this awesome nature that we have right in the middle of the heart of the city. So since we've hired over 80 participants in the program, so given over 80 young people jobs. Our partner here at LACC, we hire folks that are 18 to 26 years old. We've removed 115 tons of weeds and loose litter from across 700 locations along the LA River, starting at the headwaters in Canoga Park up at Owens Mouth, all the way down through Los Feliz area, and then the Glendale Narrows, and then down to the Fletcher Bridge and down there in Frogtown area. Picked up over 4,400 bulky items from 1,200 locations across adjacent areas to the LA River, and cleaned up over 100 illegal dumping locations. We've also done, as you've seen in the pictures here, we've done a lot of cleanups, interagency cleanups. You saw one there we did in partnership with sanitation in the Sepulveda Basin, which was a big undertaking. I think most of you all were there. We were all in it together and got out there, got our hands dirty, made sure that was clean. So to our 8 graduates here today, congratulations. You have completed over 1,500 working hours in the program. You've completed your City 101 training, and you've received an above average score on your employee evaluation. All these steps will prepare you for future career advancements and opportunities that the city or other programs will provide wherever you see your future going. So in another, I believe Carla said, this program is funded by the Governor's Office for the California for All Youth Grant. So we work very closely with EWDD and the Mayor's Office. I think some of our California for All interns are here in the back. So thank you to the Mayor's Office of Economic Opportunity for working on this program with us and making sure people have opportunities to good paying jobs that are going to lead to really bright careers. And I love Chewy's point about the environmental aspect of this. That's why I was really passionate and excited to start working on this. So just know you all are out there working and you're stewards of your environment, stewards of the LA River. So great, let's get into it. So I'm going to read the certificate into the record. So we have that. So this one, certificate of recognition from the Board of Public Works, honors each person for successfully completing 1 year of on-the-job training and has met the requirements including City 101 and or job readiness training of the City of Los Angeles Department of Public Works River Rangers program and is qualified to perform general maintenance services including weed abatement, litter and trash removal, storm drain cleanings, all along the public right-of-way. Your work along the Los Angeles River and adjacent communities creates clean, accessible, and friendly public spaces. So our first graduate is Genesis. Congratulations. We'll do some pictures after. Oh yeah, Genesis. Do you want to go? We'll do more. Our next graduate, Genesis is also one of our original cohorts, is Jennifer Valenzuela. Crystal Chi. Brian Pham. Lilia Campos. Elvia Garcia. Quincy Jenkins. Congrats. And last but certainly not least, Anthony Sparks. Congratulations. Well, thank you, everyone. If we could give a big round of applause to our first graduating class of River Rangers. You guys can go ahead and take a seat, and I'll turn the mic back over to our commissioners to wrap up some comments. Or before we get there, is there any brave River Ranger souls that would like to speak to their experience in the program? Anyone? Come on. Come on, Brian. You got it.
Well, good morning, everybody. My name is Brian Pham. I am a core memory driver from Northeast LA. I just want to say thank you for allowing me to be a part of the program. It was a different change of environment since my first couple months were doing regular cleaning green. And being able to work in a different environment meant that I had to adapt, and it's a very learning, how do I say this? It was eye-opening. At first I didn't know that there was non-native and invasive species of plants that could actually harm the environment. So being a part of the River Ranger program really opened my eyes and opened my mind to learning new knowledge. So I just want to say thank you for allowing me to be a graduate for River Rangers.
Thank you, Brian. We'll turn the mic over to commissioners to do our closing remarks.
Wonderful, thank you. Commissioners, would you like to say a couple of remarks? Yeah, Commissioner Corson.
Thank you. Thank you, Devin. Thank you to the entire team for bringing this before us. Congratulations. As Brian, you were saying, like, I'm sure it wasn't easy when you first started out and you questioned why you were doing this. But this is a great opportunity. I'm not sure how many of you are 26 or 18, but I'm just thinking about my time starting out in my career journey during college, post-college, what those opportunities meant, the friendships made, the skills learned, the skills unlearned. And I think this is a great opportunity with LACC that has always been a great partner with this board in the city to kind of learn those skills. And I see you also got to go canoeing along the LA Rivers, kayaking in the LA River. And so hopefully you had a chance to see some of the work that you did over the course of your 1,500 hours from a different perspective, and we're comforted with what you are capable of. So congratulations. I'm sure you'll do something great in your next chapter. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Reyes.
Thank you so much for your dedication, your commitment, the hard work, your passion. You all have participated in a very significant program that helps protect the LA River, an iconic place for all Angelenos, where Angelenos look to the LA River to recreate, a sense of belonging, to bike, and you have made it such a place where people can now enjoy, because a testament to a healthy city is its cleanliness and how it advances public health. And you have done a significant job, even though you look at it as small, it is not. Every little task that you did contributed to the collective image of the city of Los Angeles, of which is our home, our own city. So thank you for that. And I hope that you will continue raising awareness about the work that you have done, that you will continue getting involved with the city of LA, and that first and foremost that you will consider looking into working for the city of Los Angeles now that you've known how it is, how our ecosystem works in terms of recruitment and hiring and job experience. But today is your day. Pat yourselves at the back. We see you, we recognize you. We are in awe of the work that you've done. It's not an easy task, and it is something for an iconic place that we all love dearly, the LA River. Congratulations, LA River Rangers.
Thank you. And I'll just say some last closing comments, and then we'll take a picture with all of our graduates. Congratulations again to the River Rangers being able to graduate from this program. I have been around government for a really long time, and the River Ranger program has been talked about for a really long time. The fact that we have the state creating a grant program to be able to, grant us funding to be able to have youth and be able to clean up areas of the river. I've walked those areas as well. With Devin and with Roman, and not just in this capacity, but also with Los Angeles County folks. It's a big deal to be able to clean up our river and to be able to recreate and keep it safe. There's so many Angelenos that use the Los Angeles River, either for biking or, as you saw, kayaking. Only a couple of times out of the year can you do that. But what you do is tremendous work for the city of Los Angeles. You know, for our jurisdiction that we have along the 52 miles of the river, we have 18. So it's a big deal for what you all do throughout the Los Angeles River, and to keep it clean and keep it safe is important. And you are the first graduating class. I know that we're still trying to work out some logistics and trying to help you get into city positions, and that's still, you know, something that's, you know, that is being worked through. But I do want to let you all know that this is a big deal for the city of Los Angeles, and want to let you know that the work that you've done is very important. You may see it, you know, I don't know how you I don't know how you see it, but we see it as really important to the quality of life for many, many Angelinos, because there are many of us who use the LA River very regularly. So your work is a big contribution to the quality of life of all Angelinos. So a huge congratulations. Thank you. And we're going to just take like a 5-minute break. We're going to take pictures in the back, and then we will reconvene for those on Zoom. Thanks.
Okay, yeah, just for the Zoom callers, 5-minute break, and we'll do pictures in the back. Thanks.
Should we start?
All right, we are back and establishing quorum. We have Vice President Villegas, Commissioner Corsant, and Commissioner Reyes all present back in the meeting, and we have quorum to go ahead and get started.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for reestablishing quorum. Welcome back. Such a lovely graduation. Thank you so much to Devin and to Roman for organizing everything, all the details, and we wish all of our graduates the best. Thank you and welcome back, everyone. Let's reconvene our meeting. We've established quorum, so now we will take up items, I want to say 1 through 7. We have some assessment hearings, and Mr. Flamenco, I'm going to take up items 1 through 7, read the titles, and then I think we have a public comment.
Correct.
Yeah, I think we have public comment, and we'll take that up. And if our city attorney can just give me guidance here, we have somebody for public comment on all items. And we're taking up items 1 through 7.
There should be no more than 10 minutes total allotted to one public commenter at a single meeting.
Okay. All right, thank you. All right, then why don't we take public comment first, and then I'll read all of those into the record after.
Great. Audit LA, if you would like to start your public comment, you'll have 2 minutes.
Yes, thank you. First of all, I would like to congratulate the graduates. I know it's off topic, but I'm sorry, they deserve it. And I'm also going to ask the commission to please give them each a letter of recommendation that will go far in a competitive job and educational market. That being said, on this project, I would like to discuss, okay, because it's about lighting. And lighting has been a serious issue there and everywhere in the city because, as we know, there's a copper wire theft, etc. But so I'm asking, as they do this plan and they're working to fix this, that they also keep in mind the community, the ADA community, that it is very hard, to go through with all the. It's so dark, and I have to actually. I'm in a chair, and I have to put light things. I had to buy all this extra lighting to try to light me up, so I can see the sidewalks, which are usually in disrepair, and also so people can see me. So lighting is really crucial, and so I'm asking that. And I wish you had put the speaker first because they may have answered a lot of my questions, like Commissioner Davis did at the last meeting. He, reversed it, which makes sense. Let them speak because maybe they will answer my questions. But since they haven't gone first, I just want to remind you to please, with every one of these projects, because they're very important, we need lighting. Lighting is something that, for safety as well, it's easier to commit crimes against another person in the dark. And it's a serious issue, but I'm asking you to please also keep in mind, as if they're doing any kind of curb cutouts or call boxes to cross, anything like that, that you really set it up in a way that is absolutely wheelchair friendly, because I can I would love to submit video of recent projects that are new to say how it fails the ADA community, and I don't want that happening with this project or any of the other projects that we're talking about today. Since I only get, I guess, 5 issues that I will can talk on, I will, I guess, pick and choose. But I do want to really say, please keep in mind the ADA community, because right now, I'll be honest, with everything, I've been coming here for well over a month, and none of the ADA issues that are absolute violations are being addressed. And that concerns me because how can we trust you then to be there for the ADA community for this project and for any other project? Thank you. I yield back any time that I may have.
Thank you, caller. That was our last public comment for item number 1 and through 7.
Wonderful, thank you. All right, I will read into the record items 1 through 7. And Mr. Flamenco, I'm going to read in the titles for each one, and then you can go through the your presentation. All right, so for item number 1, this is in Council District 7, and this is an assessment hearing for Foothill Boulevard and Carl Street. Item number 2, this is in Council District 9, and this is a assessment hearing for Figueroa Street and 39th Street, number 1. For item number 3, this is in Council District number 1, and this is an assessment hearing for Cliff Drive and Tacoma Avenue. For item number 4, this is in Council District number 2, and this is an assessment hearing for Arvia Avenue and Stagg Street. For item number 5, this is in Council District number 3, and this is an assessment hearing for Reseda Boulevard and Kittredge Street, number 2. For item number 6, this is in Council District number 4, and this is an assessment hearing for Killian Street and Vesper Avenue. And for item number 7, this is in Council District number 2, and this is an assessment hearing for Oxford Street and Ranchito Avenue. And I will turn this over to you, Mr. Flamenco.
Good morning, Ruben Flamenco, Bureau of Street Lighting. Items 1 through 7 pertain to lighting districts, which we are creating in conjunction with private development projects. Ballots for items 1 through 7 were mailed on July 10th, 2024. Ballots for items 1 through 7 must be received by the City Clerk's office by next Tuesday, August 27th. We are requesting for the board to deny the protest we just heard moments ago. We are requesting for the board to adopt and forward items 1 through 7 forthwith to City Council.
Wonderful, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Commissioners, do we have a question for items 1 through 7 on the assessment hearings? I don't see any questions. Do we have a motion to approve items 1 through 7?
So moved.
Second.
All right, and Ms. Satorsky, we have a motion by Commissioner Reyes and a second by Commissioner Corsan to move items 1 through 7.
Great. Okay, let's take the roll call, starting with you, Vice President Villegas.
Aye.
Commissioner Corsan.
Aye.
And Commissioner Reyes.
Aye.
Great. Items 1 through 7 are adopted and carries forthwith.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Thank you for that. Let's move on then to item number 8, and this is with the Bureau of Engineering. And Ms. Satorsky, I think you mentioned that we have a caller on the line for this item.
We do. We have one public comment. Caller, Audit LA, if you could go ahead and unmute yourself, you will have 2 minutes for your public comment.
Thank you again. Excuse me, I'm going to reiterate that on this agenda item, I really wish you would have the speaker speak on it first. It just makes the most sense. Many questions could be answered based on that. Sorry, I had to. What I'm asking you to do is your due diligence and making sure that every element is really scrutinized and make sure there's no corruption involved, there's no anything that would cause any future lawsuits or problems. Because I've been coming here for a long time with certain issues within your own city departments that you run, and there's concern. So that concern for me transfers over to this project, to every project. Because if there's issues, and I'm not blaming the commission, I'm not saying it's you, but if there's issues under the departments that you manage for other issues, then there could be for this issue. So I'm just asking you as a commission to be really diligent, to be really keeping your eyes open. And not only that, when you see there's an issue, you hear there's an issue, that you would take next steps, because it is alarming to a citizen of this city to see a lack of action on items that are pretty egregious and no action. So I'm asking you now to be proactive, because it's easier, an ounce of prevention is, like they say, is worth a pound of cure. So be very preventative and make sure that nothing ends up becoming a problem for the wonderful citizens of Angelenos who are trusting you with
Caller,
their public
if you can
work.
please stick to
Thank
the
you.
item at hand.
Oh,
This is
yeah,
a MO
that was this item. I'm sorry, it is this item. I want you to deal specifically with this item to make sure there's
Thanks,
no
caller.
future
Thank you.
issues.
That's time.
All right, thank you for that. Let me read this into the record. Item number 8 is by the Bureau of Engineering. It's in Council District 3. It's a memorandum of understanding, an MOU with the California Natural Resources Agency state specified grant project for Alliance for Community Empowerment, also known as ACE. Recommending that the board, number 1, authorize the city engineer or designee relative to the disposition of the State of California Natural Resources Agency state specified grant to finalize a grant agreement with the California Natural Resources Agency to administer the state specified grant project and submit all documents, including the project information package, to CNRA, which is the California Natural Resources Agency. Direct the Public Works Office of Accounting to establish separate fund to accept and distribute and disperse, the grant funds in the amount of $500,000 to the Bureau of Engineering. And C, negotiate and execute an MOU if required, future MOU amendments with ACE, and that is the Alliance for Community Empowerment, in accordance with the terms of substantially similar to those set forth in the aforementioned grant agreement. And before us, we have Ms. Quinones. If you can provide some detail on that. Thank you.
Good morning, Commissioners. Good morning, Board Representatives. Marina Quinones, Bureau of Engineering. This board report seeks to finalize a grant agreement between BOE and the State of California Natural Resources Agency and to negotiate a memorandum of understanding. State-specified funds were identified in November 2021 for 5 Los Angeles community-based organizations. The Alliance for Community Empowerment, known as ACE, is a nonprofit organization in the San Fernando Valley. They seek to help empower marginalized communities through the use of proper role models, identifying opportunities, and various other life tools necessary for individuals to thrive. ACE applied to receive funds to help renovate their building to meet current Americans with Disability Act standards, prioritizing the installation of an elevator. BOE's role will be to assess progress and release funds during construction. It's described in the board report as a pass-through. The total budget for this project is $500,000, which will cover the elevator installation and other work depending on funds available. If there is a shortfall, the council office is committed to identifying the additional funds. Funding for the project will come from the CNRA grant and will be transferred to BOE's special fund. The approval of this grant was adopted at Council on March 11th, 2022. Upon board approval today, the state will transfer funds to our Office of Accounting. That concludes my report. I'll answer any questions.
Thank you. Commissioners, do we have any questions on this item?
I don't have a question, just a kind of statement, but comment. I know ACE, and I know was part of the conversations that helped them get this grant back in 2021. So I know how much time and effort has gone into getting this across the finish line. So I want to also thank BOE for patiently working with them as they were able to finally get everything together for approval.
Thank you.
Wonderful. And do we have any other comments? Go right ahead.
Just one question. Are the rest of the other grants going to go through BOE as well as a pass-through?
So there were 5 approved. I'm unfamiliar with 3 of them. So CNRA came to us, and then
Okay.
also the Chinese American Museum will be coming to the board in a couple of weeks.
All right. Thank you so much.
Sure.
That's just for my edification. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, it looks like the Weingard Foundation, or YMCA Weingard, East LA Community Development got some funding. Little Tokyo Service Center got funding. Discovery Cube got funding, and then the Chinese American Museum. All right. Well, we're glad that this one is coming before us, the Alliance for Community Empowerment. All right. And no further questions. Do we have a motion to approve this item?
So moved.
All right. Ms. Satorsky, we have a motion by Commissioner Corson and a second by Commissioner Reyes.
Great. We'll take the roll call, starting with you, Vice President Villegas.
Aye.
Commissioner Corsand.
Aye.
And Commissioner Reyes.
Aye.
Wonderful. Item is approved and adopted forthwith.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. right, let's move on then to item number 9 on today's agenda, and this is in Council District 8. And before we read this into the record, we have a caller on the line, and do you know how much time the caller has spent thus far?
6 minutes and 47 seconds. So
Okay.
there's still just over 3 minutes allotted per this
All right,
meeting.
and I'm just going to ask if we could just have the caller stick to the topic at hand for this item.
Thank you, VP. Yes, of course. On it, LA, if you could go ahead and unmute yourself, you'll have 2 minutes for this agenda item.
Yes, hi. I wish you would, on this agenda item, let them speak first, because as we saw in the previous item, they were, it's not even on the agenda that it was a ADA project. And I would like follow-up questions, but on this project, I don't know if it's ADA related or not, but I'm gonna say the same thing, that every project needs to be really mindful of the ADA community. I applaud, the city and the last presenter for, doing what it takes to get elevators that are needed and different, and lighting that's needed, all these things. It's great. I applaud all of you. But I'm just asking you to be really mindful that sometimes even when you're making these changes and doing things like that, that unless you really get it from the perspective of somebody in a chair, you may miss something. I have so many instances where it doesn't quite hit the mark. And it's a shame to invest all the money in this, and I'm talking on this project, on any project, that if it hits the mark for the ADA community, it's a shame, because with the scrutinizing and getting the real input and maybe giving a somewhere where we can work with you, or some kind of connection that we can, because you don't have a disability coordinator. I've been begging you guys, who's the disability coordinator? Because on this project, on every project, I would like to be able to talk to that person, but there isn't a person. And so that's a problem. And so who do I talk to? Who can I reach out to show, because I can't bring videos or to show you what I go through with public works projects. Who can I send it to that may listen and say, okay, you know what, this is a great point. What can we do different? So I'm asking for this project, for all the projects that have anything to deal with anything that could possibly be ADA related, elevators, crosswalks, anything like that, to please let the ADA
Thank you,
community
caller.
know
That's
where
2
we can
minutes.
reach out.
All right, thank you. All right, so item number 8 is in council, item number 9 is in Council District 8. And this is a street closure, and this is for Denker Avenue between Slauson Avenue and West 58th Place, Los Angeles County Metropolitan Transportation Authority Rail-to-Rail Active Transportation Corridor Project. And recommending that the board, number 1, determine that the temporary closure on Denker Avenue between Slauson Avenue and West 58th Place is categorically exempt from the California Environmental Quality Act, other CEQA, under the state's CEQA guidelines, Article 19, Section 15301 and 15304H, as known in the CEQA notice exemption. Temporary road closure to Denker Avenue between Slauson Avenue and West 58th Place for the Los Angeles County Metropolitan Transit Authority, also known as Metro. Rail-to-rail active transportation corridor project prepared by the City of Los Angeles, BOE Environmental Management Group. This determination is consistent with Metro's project CEQA Notice of Exemption, Metro's project CEQA Notice of Exemption, and National Environmental Policy Act documentation for a categorical exclusion dated April 27, 2017. Number 2, specify that the Metro Transit Division of BOE located at 1149 South Broadway, the board located at 200 North Spring, and other relevant city departments are custodians of the document and other materials which constitute the record of proceedings upon which the board's decision is based. Number 3, approve the request to temporarily close Denker Avenue between Slauson Avenue and West 58th Place for 73 days starting Friday, August 30th, 2024 at 7 a.m. and ending Monday, November 11th, 2024 at 7 a.m. subject to conditions identified within this report. And Mr. Curtis Tran will present on this item. Thank you.
Good morning,
Welcome.
Vice President. Thank you for reading that recommendation. I know it's quite long.
Just
Good
speak into the mic.
Sorry, can you hear me?
That's okay.
Good morning again. Vice President Viega and Commissioners and Board Member. My name is Curtis Tran. I'm with Metro Transit Division Bureau of Engineering. Metro Rail to Rail is about 5 mile long project, which will be doing improvement for street improvement, converting existing unused rail right of way into a bike path and pedestrian path, connecting several rails and bus line. The purpose of to provide a safe, dedicated walking and cycling corridor to promote healthy neighborhood, linkage between local communities, schools, shopping, employment center, transit hub, and other key destinations. Metro and its contractor is requiring to temporarily do a foreclosure on Danker Avenue Street. This is between Slauson Avenue and West 58th Place for 73 calendar day beginning Friday, August 30th, 2024, and ending on Monday, November 11, 2024. This closure will be used to construct new curve and pavement, installing traffic signal, traffic loops, concrete driveway, and so on Danker Avenue. All the major submittals have been approved by BOE and other bureaus. That's including LADOT Worksite Traffic Control Plan. Council District 8 have provided support for this closure. During the construction, there are 6 outstanding non-compliant, we call NNC. Currently, the 2 of the 6 non-compliant are storm drain damage related. Bureau of Engineering and Metro and its contractor are working to resolve the 2 storm damage facility. And once we come to a resolution, they will be reconstructed by the contractor. Now, the other 4 non-compliant are related for failure to protect sidewalk and curb ramp by driving heavy equipment and truck over them, using at ingress and egress. Contract also failed to keep the site clean. Contractor had created somewhat a hazard with mixing construction equipment and pedestrian. Contractor is working with Bureau Contract Administration to assess and Metro to assess the situation and try to resolve the issue. Metro Construction Relation have been informing and update the adjacent stakeholder, including many businesses and other institutions such as John Muir Middle School, businesses such as the Green Dog and Cat Hospital, a super mall in the vicinity, and many other stakeholders about this closure. In addition, there is no unhoused individual is found at this location. In the future, if there are any unhoused individual in this location, Metro will assist them. So this is conclude my report. I have staff from Metro, LADOT, and Con Ed in the audience. If you have any questions for us, thank you.
Great, thank you so much, and glad that you were able to bring other staff just to give a little bit more context as well to the street closure that we're going to bout before us for 73 days. Commissioners, do we have questions? Go right ahead, Commissioner Reyes.
Thank you. My only concern is that those construction activities are going to be varied, right? Depending on the schedule and your plan, barring any delays. So one concern is that the adjacent schools and businesses that you mentioned, I know Metro does engage in efforts to do outreach to those establishments. But if there are any delays, what additional efforts does Metro do to engage those establishments and assure them of less impacts on their businesses, on their safety, especially for the pedestrians and the school children and the businesses that are close by.
Yeah, okay. Thank you for that question. I'd like to invite Metro come up, when the project manager come up and discuss and then
All right.
respond to you.
Let's hear it.
Just totally.
Good morning, Commissioners. I'm Kurt Turley. I'm the resident engineer on the Rail Trail project. To address your question, first and foremost, what we do is we work with our partners at LABOE, LADOT, or LABSL to try to identify the issue and to resolve that so that we are mitigating any delays that may entail from a differing site condition or something that was unknown. We also will, and I have my community relations officer, Perla Berry, answer specifically if we anticipate it going beyond the original. We do reach out to those individuals that are around that closure to let them know what that is, and I'll let Perla speak to what kind of measures we do with that.
Go ahead.
Commissioners, Perla Berry with Metro. So in regards to outreach for the closures, we have been doing outreach since they started the initial work on the north side of the intersection. We have sent out an updated notice in addition to the initial one, letting them know of this upcoming closure as early as August 30th. And as the work continues and it's done, we will make sure that the schools, the businesses in the area are aware of the status of the work through community meetings, weekly emails, project website updates, and also if we need to do any door knocks.
One other concern is that if there are additional delays, it will go into the holiday season. I would expect and assume that additional outreach efforts will be done to communicate with those establishments and mitigate and do some mitigation measures because their businesses may be impacted.
Yes, ma'am. So outreach will be ongoing through the duration of the activity. So it's not going to stop once they start or as they go through it. It will stop once the work is done. We'll make sure that the businesses are aware of it, especially because there's that the Slauson Super Mall
Right.
right at that corner. So we've been in communication with the property manager and also with the property owners, making sure that they have the latest information via email so they could distribute it to their tenants via email too. So that's easier for them to distribute to every single tenant that's in that property.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that information.
Thank
I have
you.
no other question.
Go ahead. Are you done? Okay. Thank you. All right. And if we have other representatives from DOT, come on up as well. Just wanted to put it on record. What if we have the project that's completed sooner rather than later? Right now, it's slated for 73 days. Whoever can answer that. What if we get done sooner?
So as soon as we get done, we anticipate picking up the closure, and this will be the last stage of that particular intersection, so that intersection will be restored to
Okay.
the previous state that it was before our project started.
Okay. And then the workaround just for traffic going through, just because Slauson's such a big road, and I realize that it's not going to be completely closed, just probably a lane closure. But is there like a workaround for a driver to be able to know how to access? I mean, we see it here on our board report, but I just wanted, just to put it on edification for the public.
So yeah, so as Perla had mentioned, we do provide notice to those who are within vicinity. For those who are traveling, we also provide PCMS boards or portable changeable message signs so that they are aware of the upcoming closure as well and can anticipate and try
Okay.
to make additional routes.
Will you have one of those like flashing boards that announces the closure? Is it out right now so that it's not just, coming, like you don't just close the street like on next Friday?
That's correct. We have boards that are up at least 7 days prior to the closure
Okay.
to give them a heads up.
So they'll be up this Friday?
Correct.
Okay.
In addition to the PCMS boards, ma'am, we also do the GPS applications, so we make sure that they reflect the closure as soon as it's implemented and picked up. They also remove it at the same time.
Okay. All right. And DOT, anything else to add to that? I just don't want you all to just to come and not say anything.
Good morning, Commissioners. No, we thoroughly work with Metro and BOE on the plan. so we allowed access to businesses, pedestrian access. So
Okay.
we're happy with what we've accepted and approved.
Okay. All right. And you mentioned like the schools have been notified, businesses have been notified, things like that. I know that we see it on our board report here. It's outlined. And
Yes, ma'am. So an initial notice went out back when the work first started on the north side, and we did a specific notice just for this closure on the south side of the intersection, and that has gone out, and it will continue to go out on a weekly basis electronically, and we'll make sure that is also walked to the immediate area.
Okay. Perfect. All right. Thank you. All right. Commissioners, do we have a motion to approve this item? And I'll second that. Ms. Tursky, if you could just take roll call, please.
We'll start roll call with you, Vice President Villegas.
Aye.
Commissioner Corsan.
Aye.
And Commissioner Reyes.
Aye.
Wonderful. All ayes. The item is adopted and carries forthwith.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody, for coming, too. All right, let's move on then to item number 10, and this is a joint report with BOE, BCA, sanitation, street lighting, and street services. But before we do that, we're going to take a public comment. And if you can let us know how many minutes do we have for the caller?
Yeah, caller, I'm going to ask you to unmute yourself shortly, but just for the record, we have 73 seconds left, so about a minute and 13 seconds, which has been reflected on our clock per the board rules of 10 minutes.
All right,
per
and if she can
commenter.
stick to the item at hand.
Great.
Thank
Caller,
you. I
go
never
ahead
not
and-
stick to, hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, I never not stick to the item at hand. I want to hear more from the BSS in their report, because you don't let them go first, so we don't really know what they're going to say. So I am going to ask BSS to please include their plans or what for future closures of L. Ron Hubbard Way. And you cannot say I'm off topic because you didn't let them go first. So I am asking to please include that into the report, and also the 2 pending applications. Are they going to approve them? And because now we're all the way into the end of September, can you please let us know when do you believe L. Ron Hubbard Way will open up to the public again? I reserve the rest of my time for the next item.
Thank you.
And let's move on to item number 10. And I will read this in for the record. This is a memorandum of understanding, an MOU, with the LA World Airport projects, recommending, number 1, delegate the signature authority to the general managers of respective bureaus under the Department of Public Works to execute the MOU.
Good morning.
And before us, we have Mr. Shade Dong.
Morn-
And do we have the other representatives here as well?
It's just me. It's just me this morning.
Okay.
All right. Good morning, Madam Vice President, Commissioners, board members, and Bureau executives and representatives. My name is Shay Dong with the Bureau of Engineering's Airport Infrastructure Review Division, otherwise known as AIR. I'm here this morning on behalf of the 5 bureaus of the Department of Public Works to request that the Board of Public Works grant the signature authority to the 5 bureau general managers to execute this multi-department MOU between the Airport Department, Public Works, DOT, Planning, Fire Department, and DWP for the delivery of LAWA's projects. As you may know, there is already an existing MOU between LAWA and the aforementioned departments, which was executed back in 2017. However, starting last year, it became increasingly clear that a new MOU would need to take its place, mainly due to a wider range of airport projects, and most notably the ATMP, or the Airfield and Terminal Modernization Program. And the agency saw this as an opportunity to enhance the project delivery process. So in this new MOU, we've identified several key areas that we felt like could up or enhance the project delivery. And the first one is earlier involvement to better align with LAWA's utilization of their progress design build project delivery for ATMP and other upcoming projects. A basis of design phase was introduced and defined in the MOU. This phase precedes preliminary design and engages all agencies even earlier in the design process. The second area that is in the MOU that's a key improvement is setting design standards. So specific design parameters will be discussed during the basis of design and set prior to the milestone design submittals for each project, with opportunities to refine and or update design standards and codes prior to LAWA setting their guaranteed maximum price or GMP for each project. This ensures that each project is being designed per the latest standards while minimizing impacts to the budget. Another key important update is live meeting minutes. Minutes will be taken live on a visible screen during meetings and then distributed to all attendees at the conclusion of the meeting. And then the attendees would comment on the meeting minutes within the next few business days. Construction construction coordination is another area of that we've identified. So a new section was added in the MOU to provide stronger emphasis on coordination between the agencies during the project construction phase. In some instances during construction, Public Works was not made aware of issues or conflicts until after the work has already been completed. This was our experience on LAMP. And so better coordination to help reduce these types of situations will be on ATMP and other future projects. And finally, we've defined partnering in the MOU. So a definition of partnering was added to the MOU. Partnering will be utilized to assist project teams in setting goals, resolving disputes, and improving project outcomes. Partnering should occur throughout the life cycle of the project at a frequency determined by the project team. That concludes my report, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you. I appreciate that. For a substantial change that you all will be making at LAWA and with our city bureaus. I'm surprised that no other city bureaus are here to speak on them.
Well, they've all so the other.
I understand they all commented, but I just wanted to know if they were. I'm just making a comment. I'm surprised that they're not here.
Well, we have two other representatives here today. So we have Fan Nguyen with the Bureau of Sanitation, and we have Roosevelt Bagby with Bureau of Contract.
Come on up. If everyone, it's important also just to document and show the public, how this MOU will also be impacting your bureau. One thing is to be able to read the report, as we can see here. Obviously, we've read the report and we've been briefed on the report, but another thing is also for the people in the public that are listening to these to also hear from you all, right? So it's not just that we come to these meetings and, we pass these items and we don't hear from you. So that's why I'm inviting everybody to, just to the table to be able to speak up and say how this MOU, obviously it's a change of the way that we're going to be doing business also with LAWA, and the way that we're going to be changing our project delivery, which is a big difference as well in terms of how we were doing it before. So if I can have the others come up just to the mic and please just really itemize or at least like say in a few words how this is either going to improve and how it's become either a better MOU than in the past.
I think I appreciate how you outlined the process just right now, because it is not our standard operating procedure. It's many of these projects are progressive design build.
Yeah.
And so how we communicate with all the teams are much different than our CIP programs. So as we sat, was it 18 months that we put together the MOU, it took time to identify where we needed to communicate and how everything would be linked together and allow the project to be delivered in a quick, efficient, safe manner. So that's what the MOU intended to deliver. Where are the 5 points that we talked about earlier? Right here. I'm gonna take his notes and
Yeah.
go from here. Where's the other one?
Well, it's the same thing.
These are the 5?
Yeah.
All right. So much of it happens in the design stage. So that's not where BCA comes in.
Right.
We come in once we start to execute the project. So once they go through this progressive design stage and we have BCA as boots on the ground, we have LAWA as boots on the ground, the contractor has a quality control element there. So we were able to identify how we communicate, how we are able to identify issues or non-compliant issues and make sure those are elevated quickly, much more quickly than we do in a CIP program, and how those are resolved. So that's the benefit, one of the benefits to this new MOU. So
Good. I'm
appreciate all
glad
the
that
work
you
that's
all
gone
will
into
be
that.
brought in sooner. I'm glad you're going to be, that BC is being brought in sooner rather than a reactive, where you're just getting the scope of work and reacting to that in terms of being brought in an earlier manner that you can see what's going on or what the dynamics are. I think that's really important.
So yesterday we had a meeting at 60% design review, way earlier than we're normally
Yeah.
involved into those activities. So
Yeah.
this MOU is new, interesting, but we will see a lot of benefits from it.
Good, good. I'm glad. Thank you.
Good morning, Madam President, Commissioner, Council Member. My name is Tanwe. I'm representing the Ali Sanitation. Sanitation is part of this MOU coordinating all the language, including the City Attorney Office coordination. Sanitation scope is sewer line, stormwater, LID, low impact development, and solid resources recycling collection system. So like she said, it's a design build process. It's early engagement to the LAWA is very important feature. So we included in this MOU coordination item to make sure we have early proactive gauging into our system so that we have enough capacity in our system to accept additional discharges.
Yeah, that's great. Just dealing with either like urban runoff or any of our stormwater, just to be able to capture that, or if the progressive design build has any methodology to be able to handle it, treat it, and then put it back in our groundwater, I think is important because it's it's obviously a destination and it's close to our, Hyperion water reclamation plant as well. I'm just making that connection, but I'm not sure what the design is on that. Maybe they'll just be treating it, or maybe they'll just be putting more trees. I don't know, but it's important just to hear from your perspective on, how you'll be brought in as well. Sometimes I will say that as projects are being developed, they forget about these types of best management practices for stormwater. So I'm glad that you will also be a part of these conversations early on than us saying we should have done something like this. And so I think it's best just to have it discussed early on. And I'm glad that you all will be a part of that. And thank you for being here, just to be able to put that on record for the public.
And for the record too, we have BSL on the line virtually for this project as well, if you had any questions for them.
Okay. Yeah, let's, put them on. Let's give them the mic. Yeah.
Great. BSL, any representatives? I believe we have representatives for item number 10. Assad, you can go ahead and unmute yourself and speak.
Good morning, Madam President. Good morning, Commissioners. This is Assad Al-Najjar. I'm the former division manager for the transit lighting. And this MCA has been negotiated alongside with all the other departments. It's an extension of the original MCA that covers all the MTA projects. It's just this one has its own specifics, being its LAWA involved. So it was made as a standalone. and we feel it's going to streamline all the work.
Is that all?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for coming online. And you'll be doing other safety measures for lighting that'll be included in this?
Right. So basically, we do the standard, which is during construction, we'll be putting temporary street lighting that meets or exceeds the existing illumination levels. Plus, we ensure that there is no outages. The contractor is always on call in case there is any interruption in the temporary street lighting during construction. They go and repair within 24 hours. Specific measures given for overhead wires so that they don't cause any threats. Plus, the contractor is always encouraged to use solar lighting luminaires rather than the traditional overhead wires, as have they been doing in the other 28 metro projects.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. And commissioners, do we have any other questions? Go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you for having them all come up and walk us through it. So I really only have one question. With the Metro MCA, there was a lag in implementation. Is there a lag with this one, or once it's signed and everything's approved, everything even before it will fall under it?
So all the enhancements that we just mentioned in this upcoming, or in this draft, or in this MOU that's about to be executed, we're already practicing everything.
Great. I've had a chance to talk to some of our LAWA directors on our capital projects, and it seems that we're all on the same either value system or we're all aligned, especially going to this like progressive design build process. So I'm really appreciative of this updated MOU. Go right ahead.
Not necessarily a question, but to commend all the parties, all the bureaus involved in this MOU. I know that this will be a different type of cooperation, best practices, also learning, right, from the different policies and procedures. And I love the issue resolution policies that are included in the package, where the first one is inaction is not an option. That's beautiful. And, really identifying the impacted city departments and involve only city departments necessary to particular issue to be resolved. All of those other policies that you outlined in this document are really commendable. Hats off to you guys for making those extra steps to identify, and guide you as you proceed with this multi-level complicated project. And hats off to all of you for doing that. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. And do we have any other questions? All right. Do we have a motion to approve this item? All right. Ms. Satorsky, if we can just take a roll call, please.
Great. Vice President Villegas?
Aye.
Commissioner Corsand?
Aye.
And Commissioner Reyes? Wonderful. All ayes. The item is adopted and carries forthwith.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Thanks. Okay, let's move on to item number 11. And we have a public speaker, or has she exhausted her time?
We do, if the public commenter would like to speak on this item, there's 28 seconds left per the 10-minute allocation in the board rules.
Okay.
So I'll ask the caller to unmute yourself if you would like to speak on this item or one of the upcoming items.
Thank you.
Yes, I want to encourage the BOE to recruit DBE and DVBE corporations, contractors, because your numbers are low, too low in that category. So please be proactive and get them. But thank you to ask them to bid. But also thank you for considering our money and to ask to reject this bid. And thank you, Vice President, Commissioner Villegas, for pushing your departments to give the public more information. You kept us in mind, and I salute you for that, and I thank you. And I'll yield my time.
Great. Thank you, caller. That was the end of the 28 seconds. So that is the 10 minutes allocated per board meeting. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, let's then go on to item number 11, and this is a motion by Bureau of Engineering, and this is in Council Districts 2 and 4. And this is Chandler Boulevard Cycle Track Gap Closure rebid, and recommending that the board, number one, reject the sole bid for the project. The Bureau of Engineering will review the project plans and specifications for areas of the project that may be refined to reduce cost, as well as pursue additional funding with other City of Los Angeles departments, and return to the board at a later date to re-advertise the project. And before us is Mr. George Wang. Hello.
Hello. Good morning,
Good morning.
Commissioners, Bureau Representatives. My name is George Huang from the Bureau of Engineering with the Street Improvement Division. We're here to ask the board to adopt a motion to reject the bids, and we want to be able to advertise this project again because we feel it's a very important project for the community. I'm going to have our project manager, Aman, to give a little bit of information about the project and what we have been doing to help get this project to re-advertise again. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, George. Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Aman Malik, and I'm a project manager with the Street Improvement Division at the BOE. I would like to brief you on the Chandler Boulevard Cycle Track Gap Closure Project and the status of the bid proposal from our re-advertisement. The scope of work for this project includes constructing a 3.1-mile bike path along Chandler Boulevard to connect the Orange Line bike path and the Chandler Boulevard bike path from Leghorn Avenue to Vinland Avenue. Additionally, this project will construct new ADA-compliant curb ramps, a transit platform, sidewalk, and traffic signal and striping improvements. This project was first advertised on February 21, 2024, for which we received no bids. This project was then re-advertised on May 3, 2024. We received a sole bid in the amount of $10,711,872, which was more than 164% higher than our city engineer's estimate of $4,045,845. We recommend that we reject this bid for two main reasons. Firstly, because this is a federally funded project, we reached out to the grant administrator to discuss the possibility of obtaining additional federal funds for this project to cover the higher bid. We secured no commitment that additional federal grants could be allocated or programmed to make the project fully funded at this higher cost. Secondly, BOE plans to solicit feedback from the sole bidder and incorporate areas of improvement to the bid and contract documents to be in a better position to receive multiple bids when the project is re-advertised. This includes updating the bid item quantities, updating the bid item unit prices to recent comparable bids from other city projects, and deferring scope to other projects where additional funding is available. Lastly, we're making modifications throughout the specifications, mostly focused on the traffic control bid item, so that we can have more clear and concise language throughout the bid package. And these efforts are to clarify the scope and complexity of the worksite traffic control for this project in hopes to reduce costs. Overall, we recommend the board adopt the motion to reject the sole bid for this project and to re-advertise at a later date. That concludes my presentation. I'm available to take any questions that you may have.
Thank you for your report. Is this your first time presenting to the board?
This is my second time, actually.
Second time. Well, welcome. I must have missed your first time. Thank you. Commissioners, do we have any questions? No. Yeah, I think it's good for us just to take a pause on this. From 4 million to 10 million is a big difference. I'm glad that you are bringing this item to our board, and we'll make some changes and then come back for a rebid. All right. Commissioners, do we have a second to my motion on this item?
Second.
All right. Ms. Satorsky, if you can please take roll call.
Great. We'll start roll call with you, Vice President Villegas.
Aye.
Commissioner Corsand.
Aye.
And Commissioner Reyes.
Aye.
Wonderful. All ayes. The item is adopted and carries forthwith.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Then let's move on then to, we have, I think like we have two AFEs, and Lindsay, you're on. Do we have any other public comments?
I don't see any other hand raised other than our caller that's exceeded their time limit for today's meeting.
All
So
right.
no
Then
public comment.
thank you for that. I will then just read in for the record, this is item number 12, and this is an AFE with Black Knight Financial Services and Bureau of Engineering and the Office of Accounting are requesting the board approval for the execution of an authority for expenditure in the amount of $78,684 for encumbrance of funds for the renewal of subscriptions license for data transfer services of pre-sorted Los Angeles County deed information for the periods of July 1, 2024 to June 30th, 2025. The services include continuation of subscription to the online land records document listing, the GIS and Mapping Division of Bureau of Engineering, and before us, we have Miss Lindsay Nash. If you want to.
Good morning, Commissioners, Vice President Villegas, Board Representatives, Lindsay Nash, GIS and Mapping Division, Bureau of Engineering. The authority for expenditure before you is a routine annual authority for expenditure. It's a request to pay Black Knight Financial Services $78,684 for data services for fiscal year 24 to 25. This is a 2.7% increase from last year's fees, which we find to be reasonable. The vendor invoices us monthly in the amount of $6,557. Black Knight provides our staff with weekly deed archive records. Before their services, we would actually send staff to LA County to retrieve this information. Then we would have to process it digitally, and it was a lot of work and very cumbersome for our staff. The services rendered by Black Knight save us this effort as they process the data, review it, and create a digital inventory. These records are processed and uploaded into the BOE Land Use Planning and Management System database and a custom web application is used to view and edit this data. Other departments have access to this database through this web application. From there, staff can update the city's land records, upload information into BOE's property ownership database, and information is available in Navigate LA for staff to process. That concludes my report. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you. Commissioners, do we have any questions on this item? All right, I don't see any. And do we have a motion to approve this item? All right, and I'll second that. We have a motion by Commissioner Corson and a second by myself.
Okay. We'll take roll call, starting with you, Vice President Villegas.
Aye.
Commissioner Corsan.
Aye.
And Commissioner Reyes.
Aye.
Wonderful. All ayes. The item is adopted and carries forthwith.
Wonderful, thank you. And then you're here for the last item as well.
That's right.
Yeah, okay. All right, then item number 12 is approved, and this is, the next item is item 13, and this is an AFE, Property Insight LLC, Bureau of Engineering, and Office of Accounting are requesting the board approval and execution of authority for expenditure in the amount of $60,000 for encumbrance of funds for access to the Los Angeles County computerized plant via Title Point for the period of July 1, 2024 to June 30th, 2025. The fees include digital access to title plant database, including but not limited to inquiry by data or document reference, inquiry of general index, inquiry of property information, grantor, grantee name, and inquiry of tax information. And I will turn it back over to Ms. Lindsay Nash.
Thank you, Vice President Villegas. This authority for expenditure is another routine annual authority for expenditure. It's a request in the amount of $60,000 for the Los Angeles County Digital Title Plant access for fiscal year 24 to 25. The fees paid to the vendor are assessed based on the number of inquiries to their data, with a monthly minimum of $1,500. This is the second year we are requesting an authority for expenditure for this vendor, as these services were previously offered by Black Knight but are no longer services they offer. Property Insight's fee schedule has remained the same from last year. Property Insight provides us with Title Point services to access land records, land title records, including tax and assessment records, lot books, maps, portable media, official records, and more for online land record searches. Title Point gives staff the ability to research deeds and ownership as needed to gather digital copies of archived deeds. We can also access the title chain, which is the history of ownership for a property, for any property in our database. We also have the ability to download scanned archives of the deed, which are not available to print or download through the county. The use of these services enable us to maintain a history of deeds recorded, keep pace with the tremendous amount of transactions in the city, and maintain records of ownership for all properties in the city. That concludes my report. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Great, thank you. Much needed information that the Bureau needs. Do we have any questions for this item? All right, I'll move this item if we can have a second.
Second.
All right, and Ms. Satarsky, if we can just take a roll call, please.
Great. Roll call starting with you, Vice President Villegas.
Aye.
Commissioner Corsan.
Aye.
And Commissioner Reyes.
Aye.
Wonderful. All ayes. The item is adopted and carries forthwith.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
All right, and we will be postponing item number 14 until a future date, and that ends today's meeting at 11:37 a.m. All right, thank you.